Ephrata Middle School received national recognition in the areas of math and reading for the last 3 consecutive years. But on Tuesday, the topic was science. Here with the story is Ryan Lancaster.
Hundreds of people turned out for the Ephrata Middle School's annual science fair this week. The fair was a month in the making, as each student was required to collect between 20 and 30 days worth of data. On Tuesday night, students presented their findings to the public to gain an extra 10% on their final grades. 7th grade science teacher Jason Downer said the fair draws more people each year.
We average somewhere about 3 to 500 people come through. People come, people go. There's a lot of activities going on tonight. Kind of a community event. Kind of promotes Ephrata Middle School as being one of the top middle schools in the state, which we're quite proud of.
There were a wide range of topics chosen by students this year, including food preservation, chewing gum, plants, sports equipment, the printing press, and autism.
The investigative question was, how do autistic people react to certain sounds? I experimented with 2 trash can lids banging together, a cat meowing, a door closing, and a fork falling on the floor.
Each time students presented their findings to someone at the fair, their name was placed into a drawing for Extreme Science Fair t-shirts and other prizes awarded by Principal Jill Palmquist. The projects were rated by teachers, and awards will be given out at the end of the year for most original and most scientific projects. One 7th grader, Caden Johnson, created a video to present his data. Science teacher Gary Weddle says the science projects and the fair are important because students need to complete similar state requirements in high school to graduate.
We have for students an appraisal sheet in which they need to meet specific recommendations from the state for how to create and conduct their investigations. This is important. By the time students hit 10th grade, it's a graduating requirement here at Ephrata Middle School.
For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
Thanks, Ryan. And we want to congratulate the students on some great projects. The Ephrata City Council last night approved an agreement with Grant County to have work release inmates help out in the city parks. City Administrator Wes Crago said city revenue shortfalls mean no seasonal park workers will be hired this spring. A city employee will take over mowing lawns while inmates will help with other maintenance duties. Sheriff Tom Jones says the orange-clad inmates need to be considered low-risk offenders before they're allowed to participate in the program. The jail evaluates inmates when they are incarcerated to weigh their flight risk and examine their criminal history. Jones said inmates are usually accompanied by a supervising officer. Inmates have previously worked on community events in Ephrata, such as Sage and Sun and Basin Summer Sounds. And turning to Northwest news, representatives of union dock workers and 3 Pacific Northwest grain terminals operators have agreed to meet for renewed contract talks in Vancouver. The talks would be the first since last December, when 3 terminal operators declared an impasse in negotiations with the International Longshore and Warehouse Union. Operators imposed a contract that included new management-friendly workplace rules. In late February, one operator, United Grain Corps, locked out its union workers after alleging that a worker sabotaged equipment. The union has denied any wrongdoing by its members. And finally, if you're running low on your daily dose of cuteness, we've got you covered.
An orphan polar bear cub is making its temporary home at the Alaska Zoo in Anchorage. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service spokesman Bruce Woods says the bear's mother was killed March 12 near Point Lay on Alaska's northwest coast. It wasn't immediately clear if the shooting was subsistence or defense-related. Woods says the man who shot the bear brought the cub to Point Lay, and it was ultimately transferred to Anchorage for care. The cub is about 3 or 4 months old and weighs just over 18 pounds. The bear isn't currently on display. The Wildlife Service will eventually place the cub somewhere else, since the Alaska Zoo already has 2 polar bears. Point Lay residents asked the bear to be named Coley, the Inupiat name for their city.
That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.